incredibly excited, registering 16 and 17-year-olds to vote in the upcoming school board election here. Registration deadline is next Tuesday, the 25th of March. The election is April 15. There are already many hundreds of 16 and 17-year-olds registered, and a bunch more got registered today. Mayor Baraka hosted us along with the school, the superintendent, Congresswoman LaMonica McIver, the First Lady, Lieutenant Governor Tahisha Way, and most importantly, A Boogie with the hoodie, who rocked the place. I've never felt more upstage in my life, and I was thrilled to say that. But this is a really cool initiative. I want to thank him for coming out and his team, who have been incredible to work with. Really exciting day today.
Do you think these kids are hearing enough about the fact that our democracy is now on the line?
Yeah, this is a nonpartisan event, so I'm going to be careful in terms of not tripping that wire. But I think it's a fair question. It's a fair point to say being able to exercise your right to vote has never been more important. And the irony is young people have a lower propensity to vote than older people. And yet, think about this, older people have less of a runway in front of them. You know, these kids have potentially 100 years still to go in front of them. So the fact that there's this kind of enthusiasm is really, really important and impressive.
What's the timeline for getting this implemented statewide?
So there's a bill co-sponsored by Cleopatra Tucker, who was here in the Assembly, Raj Mukherjee in the Senate, and I believe that bill has just been introduced in both chambers.
Are you confident it'll be passed by the time your term ends?
I don't want to speak for the legislators, but it wouldn't be something that we're associating ourselves so closely if I didn't have a high degree of confidence that we'd get there. People really, when you say it to folks and they're hearing it for the first time, it really connects.
Governor, turnout has been historically low in Newark for school board elections. Where can students go to find more information? They're registered, but they don't know who the candidates are.
I can't comment on this. I can't. I don't have the specifics. You said I couldn't really hear you.
Turnout in Newark for school board elections
It's very low.
Historically low.
Yeah, it's historically low everywhere, unfortunately.
This can change. This can really change elections.
This could change it in a big way.
Where can
No
students
question
go to
about
find
it.
information, and how can the state support local efforts to know more about local
the fact that we're here, you know, when we come, we shine a big light on things like this, and hopefully this will make a difference. Give me 1 second.
Your response to Medicaid cuts?
Awful. I would just beg, you know, if the 3 New Jersey Republicans were to flip their votes, you would, in the country, you would be able to prevent those cuts from happening. Please God, that's what happens, that this doesn't actually come about. Because if it does come about, it has devastating consequences, not just for the state, for hospital systems, ultimately for the residents of this state. Sorry. There are good arguments on both sides of this. I think a lot of Democrats want to see leadership stand up and fight, and I can understand that. I also can understand not wanting to be blamed for shutting the government down, particularly at a time with drastic cuts that are either happening or potentially happening.
How would
We've heard about we've seen protests all over New Jersey right now, not only about Medicaid, but about veterans affairs and everything that's happening with those. Do you plan to lend your voice to the political climate?
We have, and we will continue to. This is not who we are as a country, and I think we have to be firm about that. And the cuts are devastating. This gentleman asked about Medicaid, which is prospective. It has not happened yet, but there have been devastating cuts already. Department of Education, as you point out, Veterans Affairs, farm to schools, food programs, food pantries. It's one thing after another. It's not who we are as a nation. I pray that cooler heads prevail. And as I said a minute ago, I pray that there's common ground between Democrats and Republicans who want to do the right thing.
How would youth voting work in districts that hold their elections in November at the same time as other municipal elections that 16 and 17 years ago?
Well, yeah, that's why, among other reasons, that's why this is limited to school board elections. You don't have that issue. But listen, I want to see this. My preference is I want to see universal voting for 16 and 17-year-olds. But I also accept the fact you have to take a step. I wouldn't call it a baby step. It's a big step, but you have to take this one step at a time.
So in those November elections,
elections. We've worked very well with the city of Newark and Essex County, their board of elections. Our folks have worked very well with them and would do something similar if it were a November election. For? No, I've got no updates on it other than it's not, I wish there were a light switch that we could flip. It's going to probably take another 6 to 8 weeks. There are, in that part of the state, 400, not all of these are under I-80, thank God, but many dozens of them are abandoned mines and mine shafts. So this is a big challenge.
Governor, what do you think the school districts that feel like they're not getting their fair share because of the 6% ceiling on state aid?
I mean, we deliberately put in buffers both on the increase and on the decrease. And as in most years, about 2/3 of districts are winners, quote unquote, year over year. There's some small number that are about flat, and then there's about 30 or so percent that are down. And I'm proud of the fact that we've put a cushion on the down part of that. As you rightfully point out, you can't get more than 106% from the state from what you got last year, but you can't get less than 97%. I think that's a good thing. Charlie.
Governor, this is a great initiative. How do you square it with the recent bills you signed making it harder to run for office by increasing signature requirements and eliminating the choice for state committee? How do you square that?
Some of those provisions haven't been updated in I don't know how long, decades. Folks wanted a different look of the ballot. The elected leaders, both sides of the aisle, led that process. They had 7 public hearings. Let's see how it goes.
What's the next step for you, Governor?
I have no idea. I need something for my throat there because I'm losing my voice. I gotta go.
Are you a big Bookie fan?
No, but our kids are. Tammy actually got this done in Mahan, and they spoke to his manager, who's a great guy. And before she did, she ran it by our kids, and they said, "Oh my God, this guy's a huge deal," as you and I were just discussing. Take care, everybody. I think I'm gonna go this way.